We are only 7 days out from the midterms, and New York's gubernatorial race is really heating up.
I mean, these polls, it looked like they skew a little bit left. Said the latest polls show Republican candidate Lee Zeldin 4 points back of Kathy Hochul. So could this deep blue state turn red?
If that happened, there would be an earthquake in places like Staten Island, where Fox and Friends weekend co-host Rachel Campos-Duffy is having breakfast with friends at Annadae Terrace. And what a day you've had there.
It's been amazing. And if the decision for the governorship is decided in Staten Island, Lee Zeldin would win. People here are really angry about crime. One of them is Olga. Olga, tell me what you're worried about.
I'm just worried about the crime coming to Staten Island lately. It's been terrible. There was a child shot in Tottenville High School not too long ago, and we lived in Brooklyn, and it was there, especially in the 80s and 90s. We moved out to come here for a safer environment, and I feel like I'm back in Brooklyn again.
And you and Doug have children who live in the city.
Yes, we have. My son lives in Secaucus, so not too close. He's close to the city, but my daughter lives in the Upper East Side, and she Ubers to work every day because the train, the MTA system is just terrible. I can't. Who's getting, thrown in the train tracks? Who's getting beat up and punched and whatever, so we won't let her take the train, and she Ubers to work. She works in Midtown.
Yeah.
And
well, it's affecting quality of life. Yeah. Quality of life. All right, thank you, Olga. We're going to move back over here. We have Lois. Lois, crime has been hitting, it's been personal for you.
Yes, it was at my daughter-in-law's house, right out of her driveway. They stole her car, and they found it in New Jersey. My son tracked the car because the police cannot race after the cars being stolen, I guess. They raced through the streets, and they found the car in New Jersey. They drove it 24 hours straight.
So, Donna, what do you think when you hear them say that, like, for example, the governor say, well, it's not as bad as they're saying on TV?
It's worse, probably. She's hiding a lot, I guess, to make it seem nice and stuff, but it's bad. The subways are horrible. The defund the police is horrible. We need to bring back all good things in Staten Island and New York, because I don't know what we're going to do if Lee Zeldin does not get in.
Compare living in the New York City area to 10 years, 15 years ago.
Oh, big difference, and we need a change. Okay. So hopefully we will get that.
All right, well, someone who knows about all the change that people want here in Staten Island and the rest of the city is Joe Borelli. Joe, thank you. You saw the cover of the New York Post, Kathy Hochul in a tinfoil hat. Thoughts?
Look, the governor wants people to vote by closing their eyes and pretending what the situation isn't really the case. She wants people to forget that things were better before she was in office, before Governor Cuomo was in office. She wants people to close their eyes and ignore reality and vote for her for re-election. I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, I definitely feel something happening here in Staten Island. You talked to me earlier about the differences in early voting. So in the Bronx, for example, 3 times the size of Staten Island, but they have the same number of early voting. What does that tell you?
Look, we're seeing people enthused here on Staten Island. We're seeing people enthused in Nassau County and Suffolk County. All the places Lee Zeldin really needs to win, we are seeing voter enthusiasm like we haven't seen in many years. If we're reading the tea leaves, I think this is going to be a great election for Lee Zeldin and Allison Esposito. As long as people watching get out there today, early voting is today. They can go to their poll site today.
Outside of crime, what's the #1 thing people are talking about?
It's the economy. People are facing bad times. I mean, thankfully, you shared the stories of so many of my constituents here today. They're all suffering, whether it's just not being able to afford little things, whether it's not being able to afford big things like the family vacation they wanted to. It's tough on people, and it's going to be evidenced in the way they vote.
All right. Last question for you. What are you most concerned about?
The lack of morality that's going on in the country. We need to get back our morals. We've got to, it's got to be justice for everybody, not just for those that are chosen. That's it, basically, in a nutshell. I mean, the border, absolutely, and the economy is horrible the way we're going.
Is there anything going well?
Not at the moment, except breakfast here.
All right, well, the breakfast here is quite good, and it's free today, thanks to the owner. All right, thank you, guys. These guys are great. I'm going to join their coffee clutch because they're awesome.
Rachel.
Staten Island has raised the bar for
Yes,
Rachel.
they have.
That's great.
Your move,
I know.
rest of the
I
nation.
think I have to move here.
Absolutely.
You did a great job today.
Wonderful.
You interviewed. I loved hearing what they all had to
you.
say.
Very nicely done.
Seems like it's unanimous who they want for governor.
Yeah, people are energized. Rachel, thank you very much.